prayer requests specifically for the service. I always give a shout out to the food. Carly showed out this morning with some sourdough cinnamon rolls. So maybe you're like, well, I don't eat processed carbs. Well, we got real ones, okay? So come be a part of that. The Lord blesses that. He surely does. All right, midweek prayer service is every Wednesday night at 7. That is a time of corporate prayer. We get into groups here in the sanctuary at 7 o'clock. So if you're not a part of that, the Lord's been blessing that. He's been moving in that, and we want you to be a part of that so the Lord can work in your life through that. All right? Both tithe giving, we cannot forget that. We are Baptist. So if you want to be a good steward of what the Lord's given you, you can give 2 ways. You can do that on the plates up front after service during shaking of hands. And then also you can give on the Tithely app, okay? So be a good steward of what the Lord's given you. All right, so our Bible studies. Both of the Lamplit Living Bible studies for the ladies are this week, all right? And so somebody help me. One's on Tuesday at 6, and then one's on Saturday morning at 9, okay? So if you have questions about that, see Miss Nicole, see Miss Candace, and they can get you rolling with that. But the Lord's been moving and working in those in a big way, all right? All right, also, family night is coming up this Wednesday. This Wednesday. All right, so it's bring your own picnic. So I think it just is what the description says. All right, so bring your own food for your family. And we're going to be at Mount Tabor Park right here, literally right next door at 6 o'clock this Wednesday. There's going to be a lot of activities, a lot of fun stuff. A lot of us have already been getting the pickleballs rolling, so we're probably going to keep doing that and some other stuff. Silas just righted like an amen to pickleball, so I appreciate that. Kyle, you're in good hands this morning, I assure you. All right, so be there for that. The Lord, we're going to have a great time of fellowship, and I'm sure everybody's going to walk in the Spirit and all that, so nothing to worry about as far as that goes. All right, there's not a slide for this, but the men's retreat is going to be November the 6th through November the 8th. Most likely we're going back to Pigeon Forge, fellas. If you were here, if you came last year, we went around the same time last year. The Lord worked in that. So Brother Daniel's getting all the I's dotted and T's crossed for that. So you want to just keep your ears open for that, and we want you to be a part of that. The Lord always blesses those. We have a great time. All right. I think that's it as far as announcements. Obviously, the band's come down. We're doing things a little bit differently this morning. We obviously just got back from camp. I've got 5 testimonials this morning, and so if you are one of those 5 that I've spoken with, come find you a place on one of these front rows. You can slide stuff over, so y'all go make your way up here. But we got back from camp. We went Monday through Friday. So it's our 3rd year of camp, but I will say we haven't gone to camp that long. Like it was pretty much almost a full week. And we had a great time. The Lord blessed. The Lord moved. We had 12 kids go with us. Brother Lee did the main sessions in the evening. We went to Camp Tanoa, which we went to a couple years ago, and it was just an awesome time. I'm super sore. I often forget that I'm, 30 don't recover like 18 does, but I'm not going to act like a 30-year-old. That's the problem. So I go, we had a great time, though. Obviously, many of you saw on Facebook, the end of the week was capped off with Kimber trusting Christ for salvation, and so we praise God for that. So the Lord's been good. We had a great time, and I said this, that I came back tired but refreshed. However, that's possible to have both of those words in the same sentence, but that would be how I'd say. I'd say my biggest takeaway, and I'm going to let the kids speak, but my biggest takeaway, honestly, maybe an odd one, was truly what I'm always quoting Alan Shelby on, and that is that ministry runs on the rails of relationships. Right? Well, Dylan, why is that your biggest takeaway? It's just weird. Not only just with our kids, but we met a lot of other kids. Me and Tori were able to hang out with a lot of other kids. Our kids were able to hang out with a lot of other kids. And it's just weird how many kids and even adults, people in general, are just looking for relationships. It's the old saying, people don't care what you know until they know that you care, the type of thing. So that was honestly a big thing that refreshed me, challenged me, and helped me to refocus that as coming back home, that needs to be a priority in my life. And so the Lord did a lot of things. And so at this time, we're going to have 5 testimonies. They're maybe nervous, maybe not, but they're going to tell you what the Lord did in their heart, how they moved. Fellas, I was told for y'all to go first. And now I'm getting emotion that Hut's pointing to you first, little P. I was going to go Hut first. All right, but Peyton's going to come and tell us what the Lord. Y'all make Peyton feel welcome as he comes.
My name's Peyton. my testimony is that I learned that I need to stay in the Word more, because that's how you get closer to God. I also learned that our mission is to spread the gospel, and that we can't be afraid of what others think. Proverbs 29:25, the fear of man bringeth a snare, but who's putteth his trust in the Lord shall be safe. And Brother Dylan, he said that it's okay to be nervous, but at the end of the day, it doesn't. At the end of the day, the only one you're supposed to fear is God, and that's something I need to work on. I also need to be more obedient and more willing to give up things that God doesn't have in store for me. Because God will take you down the path that He wants and has planned for you, and people and things will come and go, but it's all. I also learned that I would rather be in a common prison than a condemned atmosphere, meaning it's better to be in prison preaching the gospel than in public sinning, and that's what I learned at camp.
All right, I appreciate, I call him Little P. I appreciate Little P referencing Proverbs 29:25. We talked a lot about the fear of man all week with us guys. Kind of a life verse for me, post-Charleston for some reason. Not sure how that worked out, but it was good. And so, Little P, I appreciate your boldness. All right, let's make Mr. Hutt feel welcome this morning.
Hi, my name is Hutt, and when I was at camp this past week, I learned that I need to stop worrying about the fear of man and what people think, and just start fearing God and worrying about what He thinks and what He wants me to do. One thing I need to work on is staying in the Word, because that's how He teaches us and we grow. Matthew 23:28 says, "Even so ye also outwardly appear righteous unto men, but within ye are full of hypocrisy and iniquity." Another thing I need to do is I need to start praying more than I do, and not just before my food. A big thing I realize is that I need to evangelize way more than I do. The day before yesterday, I went evangelizing when my mom was shopping in Walmart, even if it's just handing out tracts. I need to make the most of my time. The devil knows what tempts us to go after worldly things instead of godly things, and he knows how to distract us. Then that's another thing I need to work on. I need to get better about reading my Bible before I watch TV or go outside. That's the will of God for my life.
All right. Hutt is on an evangelism just streak right now. He did tell me and Tori yesterday during pickleball after camp, he was like, well, we need to stop with all these carnal outings for the youth group. He didn't use those words, but that's the way I interpreted it. He's like, we just need to go win souls and stop all the water park nonsense that we have planned. All right, let's go with Miss Lily at this time. Okay, Miss Keegan. Come on up, Miss Keegan. Let's make Miss Keegan feel welcome.
Hey, my name is Keegan, and this year at church camp was amazing. The services with Brother Lee were great. They were mostly talking about how we can't fear man and how we need to stay steady with the Lord. As being a teenager in the world, it's hard to not fear man because you think they're going to judge. But that's definitely something I've been working on. And yeah.
All right. Thank you, Keegan. All right, now we're going to have Miss Lily come up. Miss Lily, y'all make Miss Lily feel welcome.
Hello. Oh, that's loud. So, I went to camp. This is my first time. My name is Lily. Actually, I wrote down like 5 bullet points. Wasn't really worried about this very much. But the people over at these cabins, and like, they made me feel so welcome. just being a child of God, and like it was easier because like in the real world you can't just walk around and everybody had the same religion as you. And in like even in the games, even when people were so competitive, it was like everybody like loves you. Everybody knows that you're gonna like have the same religion as them, and you're not gonna be afraid to speak Christ and do what you're gonna do. The entertainment at the beginning of the games. Now that was something. That was just, yeah, that's its own thing. But some of the good things is, well, like the games were really good. They all were so competitive. It was just a lot. The bad things, only a couple. The singing, Daniel, he should have come with us. Let's just say that. And the only thing I'm going to say is, the singing over there really made me mad. I feel like Brother Lee over here. I'm so sorry. But the singing over there really made me mad. I have to say it. The food. It was really good, most of it. I knew I was picky. I didn't know I was that picky, but okay. Kimber. So most of y'all may know Kimber got saved over there. Me and Keegan opened up from like since we were like 5 all the way up to now. I've never done that. Never even like told any of this to my dad. Never told anybody how I feel. Tori, Ruthie, Kimber, and Daly actually made me feel welcome and made me feel like it was okay. And they actually made me feel like it was okay to share what's happened to you and like what you've gone through. I'm shaking. I'm not even nervous. But and Tori, she made me realize that it's harder to talk to people about Christ in your family than it is to strangers. That's very true. But I have been talking about like him a lot to my brother. My brother was thinking about getting saved, so that's another thing. And I don't really have anything else to say. Thank you, guys.
All right, so she mentioned some of the relationships and hanging out with people. Our kids did. I already mentioned this about ministry runs and rails relationships. We did have the smallest youth group, but our kids did an awesome job of just getting outside their box, getting outside their comfort zone, hanging out, talking to other kids. So I'm extremely grateful for that. All right, so last but not least, let's give a hand clap up for Miss Ruthie.
Okay, I'm Ruthie, and this week we went to the youth camp up in Alabama, and I'm just going to give a little testimony on how that worked in me. So my daddy preached all the night sessions, and I think Monday night really worked in me. He called it the religious trap, and he was talking about religion versus relationship, and I think that just stuck out to me because I didn't start even trying to have a relationship with God until really recently. And one of the points he says was you shouldn't allow yourself to get jealous of traditions or else God won't be able to work in you. And I think that's one of the reasons I didn't get a relationship with the Lord until recently, because I would, my dad has always been in the church, so I would just try to mimic what he did, but it was never real. And then he also said that you shouldn't care what lost people have to say about your life, because that puts confidence in the flesh. And Proverbs 29:25 says, "To fear a man bringeth a snare, but whoso put his trust in God shall be safe." And I used to be really bad about caring what other people thought of me or how they looked at me. But you guys talked a lot about how you don't really need to worry about how any lost person cares about you. And then Wednesday night, he was talking about Christianity with the safety net. And one of the things he said was Christianity without risk is Christianity without gain. And he was talking about how you can't serve the Lord and do God's will if you're just trying to play it safe. 1 Peter 4:16 says, "Yet if any man suffers as a Christian, let him not be ashamed, but let him glorify God in his behalf." And that's just saying, God, he called you to a dangerous life, so you can't be worried about playing it safe or about what anyone is saying about you. And one thing that he really convicted me about at camp was, so like Dylan was saying, Hut, he really likes to go evangelizing, and he'll ask me a lot, and I'm always, like, I'm still, like, pretty hesitant about it because I don't want to, like, do bad or I don't want to fail. But we were talking about how as long as you're obeying God and doing God's will, then there's no way that you're able to fail. And then another thing is that I need to prioritize my relationship with God over how people like look at me and perceive me. Like I shouldn't care that they know if my dad's a pastor or if I'm a good kid or if I go to church. Those are all good things. Like people should know that. But I need to worry about me and my relationship with God over how people look at it. And yeah.
All right. Well, thank y'all for your boldness. I'm proud of you for doing that. So at this time, before we do shaking of hands, we do have a video.